in Reformed theology, we speak a lot about effectual grace, effectual calling, and I think we need to spend some time clarifying what we mean by effectual. It comes basically from the language of cause and effect. An effect is a consequence that has been brought about by a particular cause. It actually happens. Movement takes place. A change occurs. Now, the old Pelagian doctrine, Pelagius himself taught that man does not need grace to be saved. Every person has the power within himself to live a life of perfection, to live a life of righteousness. Grace helps. It facilitates salvation, but it's not necessary. And the church condemned that, of course. And then Augustine was saying, no, that we need the grace of God to be effectual, to actually bring salvation to the soul. And in between that emerged the doctrine of semi-Pelagianism, which has had many forms throughout church history. And if you would talk to a historic Arminian, a classic Orthodox Arminian, they are not Pelagian in that sense. They believe that you have to have the grace of God in order to be saved. And that grace is offered to all. But that grace of salvation that God makes available to every person is resistible. God woos, He entices, He draws in that sense, but He doesn't compel people to come. He doesn't monergistically, that is by His own power, invade the soul of the person and change the disposition of their heart so that they come to faith. God is still giving grace as a help, as an offer, which may or may not result in the person's conversion and salvation. So that grace is not necessarily effectual. It doesn't always bring about the desired effect. God can hope that His grace will lead somebody to repentance, but there's no certainty in that. In the Reformed view, when we understand the grace of God, it's not that just God is outside of us wooing and enticing and all of that, or just giving us information, but He works inwardly on our souls, changes the disposition of our hearts and of our wills, and brings about the effect of faith.